Hi folks, this is the latest thing that I've finished painting. Hopefully it's evident that it's a Thousand Suns Hellbrute. And there's a weird sort of coincidence that's come along with this. That is, I started painting this about 3 months ago, something like that, long before Space Marine 2 came out. And this guy happens to be in Space Marine 2. And there's a surprising convergence in the colour scheme, I think. Now, this guy's obviously naturally far better looking than anything I could produce, but it's not too bad, I think. I like, we got the same sort of greeny glow coming out. I only chose the green. I tried doing yellow to red, so through orange, but it didn't really work as the sort of glowing effect on the things. So I changed it to green because it was easier to do, frankly, and it was a complementary colour to it as well. And it comes out looking pretty good. But anyway, so this is him more close in. Now, I tried not to do object source lighting with this. I just tried to give these components a kind of internal glow, not that they were lighting up anything around them. Honestly, because I just wasn't confident enough to do object source lighting. I'm a big fan of this YouTuber called Eli Minstaturo or something like that. I can never pronounce it. But he does incredible lighting. His lighting he is the GOAT when it comes to lighting effects. And I've just basically been trying to copy him. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos to try and improve what I'm doing. But this, generally, it's come out better. I've been more conscious of the actual light source that's shining onto the thing, right? So, I mean, as you can see from, hopefully, the blue armor, it looks vaguely like a sort of shiny non-metallic metal. I've tried to anyway. Let me know in the comments, see how I've done. But the internal glow of the things, I'm actually fairly pleased with how it's come out. But this, as you can see, it's all hand painted. I haven't used an airbrush for any of this. And I did glow inside the engine things at the back, which came out really quite okay, I thought. It gives it a nice sort of contrasting colour. And this is really easy to do. Just paint it white and then a bit of yellow, a bit of orange, a bit of red, a bit of slightly darker red, and then a dab of white at the very bottom to give it a kind of the feel that it's coming from the inside up. And it all came together quite well. With the metal, I've tried to do a true metallic metal there. I've got a fairly simple formula for it. Basically, just Castellax layer bronze, do an Agrax Earthshade wash over it, and then highlight with this layer Skyorax bronze. They don't look like they're going to go together. They're quite like contrasting colours, but actually they look really similar when they're on, and the Skyorax bronze comes out really nicely. But overall, I'm quite happy with the effect. I think it's done okay. I was particularly happy with it on the feet here because I was very conscious about where is the light coming from. And so I've got quite a big, bold one on this shoulder, and then it's around this sort of area on this shoulder. So hopefully it seems like the light is actually coming from, like, the main light is coming from up here with like secondary lights coming from around him. And so I've really emphasized the light on this side of the feet. But if you look on the other sides of his feet when I get to them, you can see it's a lot more in shadow. But yeah, so I'm quite happy with how this come across. I spent a lot of time doing like the feel of an internal glow to it, hopefully. I hope that sells. The eyes came out really well, although now that I'm looking at it, I can see a little bit here that I should have neatened up. But generally, I'm quite happy with how the eyes came out. They came together really quickly. I just thought, right, okay, I'll do like the Bloodshot red and then go to the Sauron yellow in the middle, and then the little black, literally just very, very fine tip brush to do a black eye pupil, and then just a dab of white to make them look a bit shiny. And I'm really pleased how it's come out, generally, actually. They look pretty decent to me. One of the things I did is with the flesh is make sure I tried to get a bruised but also pseudo-demonic feel to it. So Citadel do a really, really nice range of like ready sort of purplish reds, which are the begins with base Barak Nar Burgundy, and then Gal Vorbak red, and then Screamer pink. And these all work really nicely together as highlight colours. You just start with the darkest, which is very dark, and work your way up. And then I topped it off with a very some sort of scarlet pure red from Army Painter. I've been trying to avoid the Citadel paints because of the stupid way that it doesn't close the pots and it all ends up blurting out at the sides, which I just think is gross. I don't like it. I don't know why Citadel aren't using dropper bottles like civilized human beings in the year of our Lord 2024. So most of it was with Army Painter, where I've got some of the Wave 2 of the two thin coats, but I don't think I used much on this. For this I used Imperial Navy as a sort of base blue colour, and then this greeny sort of abyssal blue, because Thousand Suns are kind of turquoisey factoring. Then this Hydro Turquoise, which I've just dropped, Hydro Turquoise, and then for the very lightest, Marine Mist, which is a very light turquoisey blue, which is nice. And I think it looks all right. But yeah, so with the flesh, I tried to make sure that it was relative to where the light was coming from as well. So you can see at the bottom, on the undersides, it's quite dark, but on the top, it's quite light, to try and really sell the effect. And I think it's come out okay, actually. I think I've gone from about 5 to a kind of 6 in my own personal rating when it comes to painting. I'm a pretty harsh judge of these things, but otherwise I think it's come out all right. And so I'm quite happy with it. And the reason I'm doing this video like this is because I actually have another Hellbrute that I painted back in 2022. Now, when I was young, I always wanted a Hellbrute that had 2 power fists. And I got a Hellbrute in 2022 that I was, because I was playing a lot more than I was then. So I was like, right, I just want a normal Hellbrute. And I haven't been able to play for ages just because my schedule's been really bad. But when I was young, I always wanted a close combat dreadnought, because I remember seeing this white dwarf that had a Space Marine dreadnought that was heavily modified, customized, to have 2 power fists on it. It was like running forward, and it looked amazing. But of course, you couldn't get such a thing. You had to modify it. You had to scratch, custom build it, and I couldn't afford to do that when I was young, because you needed to get like the Blood Angels Furiosa dreadnought, file down stuff. I couldn't do it. It was all in lead. But now the kits have a second power fist in them, so I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get it and do it. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's come out. And so I thought what I'd do is contrast it to how my 2022 Hellbrute came out. And man, again, this has only been 2 years of painting, but this is what 2 years of watching YouTube tutorials can do for you. It really does make all the difference, because I'm looking at this guy, and it's not that it's bad. I give it like a 4 or 5, right? It's just basic, and there's nothing special about it. There's nothing very impressive about it. But I remember at the time I was very, very pleased with him. I was so chuffed with how I'd managed to get like the basics correct. But now I guess that I've got a few of the more slightly advanced techniques down, or at least they're better than they were. So one thing to note is the way that I did the blue metal plates. So I'd airbrushed this with Night Lord's blue to give it the base coat, and then probably just Thousand Suns blue to highlight it up. And I wasn't very aggressive. I was very timid with the actual highlighting on it. So it's a very subtle highlight, but it renders it quite flat. Whereas on this one, I did this all by hand. And I was just like, no, I'm just going to go balls to the wall, because this Eliminstira guy, he's just very aggressive with contrasts in his models. Very, very aggressive. I was looking at it going, yeah, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for it, and we'll see how it looks. And once you sort of find the confidence to go very aggressively with the contrast, you realize that the model suddenly comes alive. This one, this looks like a 1970s version, whereas this looks like the 2024 version. Like this looks very old, whereas it was only 2 years ago. And this looks quite new and modern and flash, right? And so this is them together, and I'm just like, well, which one's my eye drawn to, And obviously my eye is much more drawn to the one on the right. And I like the contrast in colours, because like you can just see that there's a lot more effort that's gone into the one on the right, whereas I was kind of being lazy with the one on the left, I guess. And I'm quite happy with the colour of the flesh by comparison, because with the sort of like deep red, that's fine for like blood letters and stuff like that. Proper, authentic, cornate demons, that's fine. But one, this isn't Khorne. And two, this originally started as a man, or at least a dreadnought of some sort, right? Something like that. Having sort of purplish coming to red skin tone to give it the sort of bruised, abused look of flesh is way better and more visually effective than just having, oh, this is demon red. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not that I was lazy, so I didn't really know what colour scheme they'd used in the official paintings to get that kind of thing. But like I said, it's the sort of Gal Vorbak rainbow of them here, which you definitely want to use if you want to get that sort of colour. And I think it looks way nicer. But again, just everything about it just pops far more. Like on this, as you can see here, this is concave. So I painted a bit of highlight on the top there and a bit of highlight on the underside bit there. And suddenly it just pops out way more than this one, which I didn't do anything on. And the same with these, like holes. I just made them glow a bit. And again, I didn't do anything on this bit. I don't even know why. Why didn't I even paint this red, you know? But suddenly it just gives it a lot more activity on the model. Like things are happening. I think I'm using basically the same not true metallic metal formulas. The metals aren't too bad. But in just all of the sort of small ways, I'm not terribly thrilled with the old model. Like if you look at the eyes here, they're okay, but again, the pupils are very thick and sort of clumsy, and they're okay, but there's not much to them. Whereas if I can find the other eyeballs, these feel a lot more detailed and a lot more finessed than the other ones. So just just feeling a lot better about the new ones. The orange is definitely a nicer sort of eye tone as well, I think, than the green. But I don't know. I guess you live and learn, don't you? This is part of doing it. But yeah, this just looks dull. I'm disappointed. No, I don't. I shouldn't say disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I was very proud of this when I did it. But there are so many other little things I could have done that I didn't. I mean, just look at the difference, like on the shoulder pads here. Like, so I tried to get that effect. This was what was basically in my mind, or something like this, was what was in my mind when I was doing this. I just wasn't pushing it nearly far enough. And there's nothing stopping you. It's only your own sense of self-confidence that stops you from pushing it really far. And I just decided, right, I'm just going to go the whole hog and make it as vibrant as I can. And I'm really pleased with the outcome. So yeah, this is, how my painting has improved over the last, and it's only been 2 years. And I think the results speak for itself. So basically, even if you're looking at your own painting at the moment and going, okay, I'm not very good. That's not great. I wasn't very good. I was very basic back then. And I'm not terribly advanced now, to be honest. I've just been watching a lot of YouTube tutorials and just going for it. Just give it a try. Yeah, I am quite happy with it, though. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know how you think I can improve, because this has been a long work of trying to get a model that is as good as it can be. I think next time I do the sort of glowing effect, I'm quite happy with how it came out. But I do want to learn object source lighting. I do want to be able to do that at some point, because this, like I said, the people who do it make it look amazing. I would love to have amazing looking OSL. But in my Discord, which you can find linked in the description, I'm running a little thing where I'm going to rate your models. So do join and come and show me your models, so I can give them ratings out of 10. I'd say probably this is a 4.5. This is maybe a 5.5, 6, maybe a 6.5 if I'm feeling very generous. So this is the sort of arc of progress that I'm making, and I'm gonna do a video rating your models soon. So do go and post some models, and I'll see you soon.